Good evening, FSU. I'm meteorologist Brandon Lastrick with you tonight on this Monday evening edition of FSU Weather. Let's take a look at Doak Campbell Stadium right now. We see some clouds in the distance, the sun peeking through, and over here a little bit we see the remnants of some of those thunderstorms that were moving through the area a little bit ago. Right now it's sitting at 79 degrees, thunderstorms, and a southeast wind at 5 miles an hour. And we see the temperatures 80 in Tallahassee, 76 in Crawfordville, a little bit cooler where those rain storms have moved past already, and a little bit warmer where up in Bridge, 86, where they haven't seen too much rain yet, so keeping those temperatures a little bit higher up. Overnight in Tallahassee, our low temperature is going to be 68 degrees. Possible chance of showers and east wind at 5 miles an hour, so make sure you check the weather before you go out tonight. And today we're on FSU Weather. We are looking at some storms that are moving across the country, bringing a severe weather threat. Clear conditions for Florida coming up, and summer heat prevails throughout the area. So all that and more on FSU Weather. And welcome back again. It's me again, taking another look at Doak Campbell Stadium with those clouds and really beautiful sky when you see the sun poking out of those clouds. And I like watching clouds. It's one of my favorite things to do as I go drive across town and something like that. So it's kind of cool to see those clouds right now. And we see our high temperature for today was 88 degrees, though. Luckily, that was about 20-some degrees lower than our high or record in 1985 at 103. And our low was 71 today in the early morning hours before sunrise. Again, here are these temperatures, 80 in Tallahassee and a little bit cooler, again, 76 in Crawfordville by the coast, 85 in Apalachicola. And we see for our dew points, we're seeing also muggy conditions much throughout the area, with dew points 68 in Tallahassee, above 70 in most places. So all that is fueling, bringing moisture for those sea breeze thunderstorms to develop. And here's our radar right now. We can see those thunderstorms starting to die out, especially this one right here. That one has a lot of lightning, some heavy rains. That one's starting to die out and fizzle away. And a lot more activity over to the eastern side near the I-10-75 junction right here. We see storms moving across the I-75 right now. We do have right there a report of hail. I think I saw a trucker reported a 0.3-inch hail along I-75. So these storms will be winding down toward the afternoon hours, but they do have a lot of lightning with them associated with them as they move eastward. Into the overnight hours, we see temperatures dropping down to about the 70s, low 70s, 71 in Tallahassee and 73 in St. Mark's, and up in 70 in Thomasville. So mild temperatures into the overnight hours. And into tomorrow, we see temperatures will crank back up again. So not much rain. I'll show you a little bit more of that in the 7th day. But temperatures will be shrinking up again. 93 in Tallahassee, so it'll be a lot warmer for the area. A little bit cooler by the water. We do have those marine effects, bringing those temperatures just a little bit below 90. So I mean that definitely helps a little bit. 87 in Carabel and 88 over in Apalachicola. And to 24 hours radar right here, we see those storms will fizzle off and die into the overnight hours. And then tomorrow, our main chance is just for isolated showers and storms that are possible. Nothing widespread like today has been so far. Over at the beach in Panama City, we see 85 degrees and a water temperature of 82 right now. So those seas are warming up. Also, there is a chance for rip currents. I believe this right now is a moderate risk. Make sure you know where your lifeguard is at all times. And we see our winds at 5 to 10 knots at southeast wind and a light chop on the seas. And for tomorrow morning, for your dog walk, a cute little pug right here, 69 in the morning. That will warm up into 82 at 11 a.m. So make sure you go a little bit early if you want to get that dog walk in. And into the hourly forecast for tomorrow, we see 85 around 12 p.m., warm up to about 90, and come down just a little bit around 6 p.m. to 88. And into your 7-day forecast right here, we see rain chances will dip down a little bit into Tuesday and Wednesday, but they will crank back up again into Thursday and Friday and into Saturday with those sea breeze storms. And the temperatures also will come up a little bit to about 94 on Thursday. And I'll stay with you again for the southeast. Right now we see her on the cameras. Mexico Beach right now, beautiful clear skies, 85 degrees. Charlotte, North Carolina, 86 degrees. Beautiful skies as well. Blacksburg, Virginia, 73 right now. Those clouds, as we see right there, are keeping that temperature down. And the outlier here is Atlanta. It's a washout right now. We had some storms moving through the area, keeping that temperature a little bit lower, though, at 78 degrees. And right now, our temperatures, right, And we see 80 in Tallahassee, like we said earlier, 88 in Tampa, a little bit warmer as the more west you go, 93 in Shreveport, and 89 in New Orleans. And we also have muggy conditions as well. The dew points are, much like our area around the Big Bend, keeping a lower 70s into 70 in Little Rock and 72 in Shreveport. That is going to be in part due to this southerly flow that is bringing all that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico up into the Gulf Coast and into places like Arkansas and Mississippi, associated with the high pressure system that's located just off the coast a little bit. And we also see that, these wind speeds going around 10, 15 miles per hour in some places. What's cool, I always like to point out when we show this map is you can always see for summertime that sea breeze in Florida right down the spine where those winds are converging into each other from those different flow patterns, and bringing that convergence will help with convection and keep those storms firing up in the daylight hours. We also see that sea breeze as well into the Big Bend area where we are. That's why we had some of those storms move in through our area today. And here's that radar, all those storms and convection from that sea breeze. We do have right here a severe thunderstorm warning, just a little bit below Titusville and Melbourne area. So keep in mind if that's where you're at, know what your National Weather Service locally is saying about the threats associated with that storm. We also have a small craft advisory off the coast of North Carolina, and not much going on right now of flash flood warnings. I do see one right here in Louisiana for possibly like a river, bringing up a little bit of flooding. Into the overnight hours, we see temperatures will dip down a little bit into the mid to lower 70s or even upper 70s in some places, like 78 in Tampa, and we see 76 over in Shreveport. And for Charleston, if you'd like to get out, we have a pretty nice day coming ahead. Tuesday, only 20% chance of rain into Wednesday as well as Thursday. And we see Key West as well. A little more high chance of rain. We have some tropical moisture down there right now on Tuesday, 70% chance, and temperature is around the mid-80s. And we see in the next 24 hours, radar storms will die down, and then they will kind of ramp up again into the next day, as we do have some weather moving across the country as well. And we see for tomorrow's high temperature is 93 in Tallahassee, so warming up definitely for sure into the 90s. And I will stay with you again, lucky you, for having me all day today for the National. So I do have a lot to point out for the National today. I mean, 104 in San Antonio, that is the one that is standing out right now across the country, in comparison to across the country. So 104 there. And a little bit cooler, luckily for them, up in Billings, 66 and 64 over in Seattle. And then on the East Coast, we're seeing temperatures around the 80s across the eastern seaboard. And for our dew points across the nation, so we have a lot more moist air on the eastern side, and on the western side of the country, that sharp difference right here, where we have dew points around 31 over in Albuquerque and 38 in Salt Lake City, so definitely drier conditions. And we see in the upper level water vapor, we see right here, this system right here is bringing some of that severe weather threat right now into the Ohio Valley and places approximately like Tennessee, and helping bring some of that moisture as well into the southeast with those storms. And for the current drought, we're still, it hasn't changed too much in the past couple of weeks, but a lot of drought conditions on the western side of the U.S., up to extreme to even exceptional drought in parts of Texas and New Mexico. And if we're looking to see if we have some relief from that, West Coast over the next couple of days for the rainfall, not too much to help relieve that. Most of the rain is going to be concentrated on the eastern side of the U.S., with mostly seeing Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana seeing some of the most rain. And right now, where we have these systems, so right over looking at Iowa, we have a low pressure system with the cold front and the warm front associated with that, helping to kick off some of those storms into the St. Louis area and to Kentucky. That's bringing some of that severe weather threat as well. And our nice radar right here, we see all the sea breeze thunderstorms throughout Florida. And we go ahead up to the Midwest. We see we have some severe thunderstorm watches and warnings. The warnings are in the orange, so make sure we check it out for those in your local broadcast, and make sure you know what the warnings are for those. And we do have another severe thunderstorm watch over in Kentucky, as this complex of storms is moving across the area. And for the west side, we do see we have some warnings over here as well. They might not be severe warnings, but we do have excessive heat watches and warnings in parts of Texas, where we do have all that dry air and extreme heat. So we do have also fire weather warnings as well. So make sure you're not having any bonfires. Would be a good idea for sure. So we have that excessive heat watch over here as well into the Arizona areas and into southeastern California. And for today, right now with that severe weather threat, we see places, so we have three kind of main areas for a slight risk of severe weather. Right here in the Tennessee Valley area, places of Nebraska and tip of Oklahoma and Colorado area we're seeing a little bit. And right over here we can see the main threat for today is going to be severe hail and damaging winds, although we can't rule out a possible tornado as well. And into tomorrow, we have an enhanced risk, so that's a little bit higher, so that's 3 out of 5. And the main risk for tomorrow in that area is going to be severe hail, wind, and the possibility of tornadoes. So make sure you have an idea of what's going on locally for your area. And we see not too much going on for the next day on Wednesday. And airports are looking pretty good right now. Atlanta, we have the thunderstorms that are helping, and across most of the nation, all green across all the boards, so not too much going on with flight cancellations. And into tonight overnight hours, we see temperatures dip down into around the mid-70s and a little bit cooler, 60 in Kansas City and 54 over in Seattle. And then tomorrow, that heat again will be back. I mean, San Antonio 103. I mean, that's bona fide smokified over there in San Antonio, and a little bit cooler for up there in Billings, 68 and 74. So these are temperatures on the eastern side. We see a little bit warmer conditions over there. And next up, we'll see a nice look at the tropics. All right, and for our tropics today, here's the list of the storm names that we have on tap for the 2022 hurricane season over in the Atlantic. And again, Alex, that one's crossed off the board already, first a couple days into hurricane season, so we can cross that one off. So next system will be Bonnie, following Colin after that. And let's take a look at Alex right now. So Alex has turned into a post-tropical storm already. So it's no longer a tropical storm. Current winds are 60 miles per hour. As you can see, it is definitely no threat to land right now. It's moving northeastward into the open ocean. It has some tropical storm warnings and watches for Bermuda right about here, but it's cleared that area since then. And the main story from Alex was the rainfall that gave southern Florida. I mean, Miami saw parts of Miami having 10 to about a foot of rain over the 24-hour period that it moved through, and that caused severe flooding in that area, as well as Cuba. You can see those summertime storms kind of popping up over there with tropical moisture. They had a lot of flooding as well from the system. And we see a lot of where the storms like to form in this time of year in the beginning of the hurricane season is above 80 degree waters, and most of the Gulf of Mexico is experiencing those temperatures right now. Some tropical moisture into below southern Florida right now, but nothing else too much going on into the Gulf. And we are expecting an above average season for the Atlantic, maybe 20-some named storms overall. And we know for tropical storms, an unnamed storm, I know Alex it's still a potential tropical cyclone as it went through Florida. That can still cause damage, but rainfall can sometimes even be more dangerous than the winds that are associated with this. So make sure you have an emergency plan in place for you and your family. And I'll take you right back into Doak Campbell Stadium, where we have the sunset. It is coming in the next couple hours. We'll see that sun dip below those clouds and down below the horizon. 79 is still our temperature right now. Some thunderstorms moving out of the area. And our temperatures at this moment, we're seeing 80 in Tallahassee. It's not much has changed too much. Again, where the storms have moved through are a little bit cooler for your area. And the dew points sticking at 60 in Tallahassee and 70 over in Quincy. So mid-70s seem to be the right spot for most of the area. And we see on radar again, not too much right now, right where we are, because all the storms have kind of faded away so far. But the rest of the storms, I mean, a lot of lightning associated with these, so make sure when thunder roars, you know what to say, go indoors, okay? And if you like us, you can go ahead and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSUweather. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSUweather. On YouTube, hope you're watching right now, watch us on youtube.com/FSUweather. And follow us on Instagram at FSUweather as well. I'd like to see your picture sent in. And I'll leave you one last look for the 7-day forecast. We see temperatures will dip down, not temperatures, the rain chances will dip down into Tuesday and Wednesday, and then right back up again with rain chances at 60% on Friday. Temperatures around mid-90s and to the lower 80s. I'm meteorologist Brandon Lasser with you. I hope you have a great evening.